want to open up about what happened yesterday. If anybody has been following me and you have a good memory, you know that I work at a hotel part-time. I handle the events and stuff like that there. I'm not a boss or anything like that. I'm just a contractor who, whenever they have big events and big ballrooms are used, I come into play and I set things up. Got some guys who work for me and we set things up. And yesterday, there was a sorority. There was a regional meeting of a sorority. I'm not going to mention the sorority's name, but it was a meeting of the Mid-Atlantic region. So this particular sorority, Mid-Atlantic means Virginia, Maryland, D.C., North Carolina. That's the Mid-Atlantic region. And this particular sorority is all over the country. It's a black sorority. It's national. So for them to be having a Mid-Atlantic meeting in Richmond, Virginia, that means that they have a Northeast they have a meeting in the Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, Southwest. They've got all of these different regions. They're all over the country. And the president was there at this particular meeting. And I could tell that this woman was the president of the whole Mid-Atlantic chapter because she had all of these bodyguards. And one of the guys who works for me said, hey, we got word that the president is going to come through. She wants everybody to leave. She doesn't want basically like a celebrity. They don't want anybody out. They don't want anybody looking at her. She's going to walk through the hallway real quick to get to her car. And she wants everybody to turn around. And she doesn't want anybody to look at her. And I'm like, and it just pissed me off, man. And I let my feelings be known. I said, that's just ridiculous, man. This is the reason why black people in the ghetto will never, ever receive any type of motivation, inspiration, or any type of leadership from these people. These are supposed to be the leaders in the black community, and look how they're acting. And this sorority member, and mind you, most of the women were in their 50s and 60s. I treated them with the utmost respect, even when I got into a debate with this sister. You know, these women are old enough to be my mama, so I didn't disrespect anybody. I was just announcing how I felt. And this woman who was in a sorority, she was in her 50s. She was like, "Why do you feel that way? We do a lot of work." And I've hated sororities, black sororities and fraternities for a very long time because I think that they don't really they don't do anything for their community. And what I mean by that is this particular sorority, for example, see what they do is fraternities, sororities, they're called networks, they're called groups. And basically the benefit of these groups is you can consolidate everybody into one mind, a beehive mindset. That can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing. It's a good thing in the sense that, say in this particular sorority, it's national. Say one of their sisters is running for Congress. Everybody's going to vote for her in a group in the sorority. Let's say that somebody in a sorority, their mother died, and they can't afford to pay for the funeral. Everybody inside that sorority, they probably have a website where everybody goes to check out, and they probably have a newsletter that they send to everybody, and they can put that in the newsletter, and everybody can donate to that burial. And that's the benefit of having an organization that's as organized and as structured as these sororities and fraternities. You can have a beehive mindset, and that means that you can get things done in an organized way. Unfortunately, they use their power for their own good. These sororities and these fraternities, these people are really just upper-class black people, a lot of them, and they're not really interested in doing anything positive for their communities. They're not interested in black inner-city neighborhoods. Like this particular meeting, this Mid-Atlantic meeting, it was 3,000 women there for the sorority. And I was just, after I had announced how I felt, this lady who overheard me started saying, "Hey, why do you feel that way?" And I was just like, 5 minutes away from here, there's a set of projects. Every single store in that area, in that community, is owned by Arabs, Indians, Palestinians, and people from Nepal. Koreans, they're selling hair to black women. They're doing nails for black women. And we got 3,000 black women, college graduates who are very successful. Everybody has a Benz. Everybody has a BMW. And this is a problem throughout America. Why is it that we have so many successful black people who are doing well financially, who are well educated, who have the ability, and they have this organization behind them. They have this organizational power where if they get behind something, they're going to get things done, because you've got the masses. Like I said, that's the power of these groups. They can get things done quickly because they have so much power behind them and so many people. Why aren't you guys doing anything to help these inner city neighborhoods? See, these fraternities and sororities, like I said, they're more so into these high class issues. Like, okay, if somebody's running for election, they'll get everybody to support that person. If there's a candidate in a certain state, they'll get their sorority sisters in that state to vote for that person. That's what they're into. They're not into, hey, what can we do to motivate these kids in the ghetto? What can we do to make sure that gangbanging goes down? What can we do to prevent these murders in the black community? And I look at it like, yo, you got these sororities and fraternities in the black community, very successful people, but they're not doing anything for their community. You got the Christian churches, these powerful, these big congregations, they're not doing anything for their community. There's not one church in my city that says, hey, to you kids that live in a black church, you kids in the ghetto, come to the church. You can do your homework here. You can come here and have a peaceful place to study and do your homework, because we know that your neighborhood is too loud, too much going on, too much gang activity going on for you to really focus. So come here from 8 to 4, whatever, 5 to 10, and you can have a peaceful place to do your homework. They don't even do that. They know that these kids don't have peaceful places to do their homework because the neighborhoods that they live in are loud as hell. You got like 50 or to 100 guys standing on the block making noise. So how can that kid that's inside the house do their homework? And you would think that these sororities and fraternities and these churches could at least provide a sanctuary for these kids to do their homework in under peaceful conditions, quiet conditions, but they don't even do that. It's all about politics, man. We got all of these successful black people in America, but when you go to a black inner city neighborhood, nothing is black owned. The houses aren't black owned. They're gentrified. They're owned by other races. The businesses aren't owned by black people. The corner stores aren't owned by black people. But we have 3,000 people, 3,000 women who came yesterday for this sorority meeting, this Mid-Atlantic meeting, and all of them got Benzes, BMWs, nice cars. All of them make probably 6 figures, and they're not using their power to make things better for our people. They're doing things to make it better for the bourgeoisie.